Okay, I am back. It's been a while for playing this game, Mario vs. Shyguy. I have played some games in between here and there. I will say that. Also, I'd like to say this is post-recording. This is post-recording me. And the reason for that, I kind of talk about it a little bit in the next video, but Windows 10 had a upgrade of some sort. Update. Not upgrade, but update. And it fixed some features, but at the same time, for whatever reason, I don't know if it was just me. I don't know if it was everyone, but it killed like all my default stuff and set everything back to like factory default. And that included Bandicam with my mic setup, OBS with my mic setup, Discord with my mic setup, like a ton of things. And it wasn't just that, like even controller stuff, it like reset, audio stuff, it reset, like it completely broke one of my audio drivers completely. Like I had to reinstall it. I don't even know why. I don't know why it did that. I don't know why it happened. But that's what happened. So I played through this whole thing. And then I was kind of cussing up a storm in between videos because I was already kind of having a bad day. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna record. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to play some Marios and get back into it. And just like not really had a good time. I was also kind of mad at, not gonna lie, kind of mad at Mario vs. Shyguy. But that's another thing. Anyway, right here, I don't know if there's a normal exit. Like I found this key and I was confused because I was like, is this it? Because the screen didn't scroll, but I was like, you know what? Might as well just grab the key and do that. But you'll notice I go back into the level. And I'm like, I'm going to fly over everything. I'm just going to fly over everything. I'm going to see if I can find a normal exit. Because it just seemed really, really odd to me that there was no normal exit. Spoiler alert. There is no normal exit. Like, from what I can see at all in the level, there is no normal exit. I might look in Lunar Magic personally just to figure it out to see if there's anything. But yeah, there was no normal exit. Like here I fly. And I'm like kind of testing out the flight because I realize it's not like Super Mario World Cape Flight. It's more like you're on Yoshi. And so you can fly up and then dip down and then fly again. But I jump off, and there's no exit. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I come over here, Donut Secret 1. This is the level that kind of frustrates me. It kind of frustrates me because I'm like, oh, it's just Boss Bass. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, you know what? Even if I was down one tile, I don't think Boss Bass could hurt me. And then I try and burn him. I'm like, is he the burnable Boss Bass? Is he the killable one? Does he just respawn? And he's not. And then I kill that fish, and I'm like, crap. And as soon as I killed that fish, I realized what I have to do. The game is asking me to fish hop. So that's a fish that goes back and forth and jumps out of the water. So I'm like, okay, I just need to fish hop. Also, right here, I'm realizing the leaf. I'm realizing the leaf. When you jump and you don't hold B, you still flutter slightly. And I'm like, oh, that's not gonna be helpful. So I'm like, I gotta use the fire flower. But you notice, like, that fish hop, that's not the only one. It asks you to do that a lot in this level. And so I get here and I'm like, okay, here's another fish hop. scenario. I'm watching it, and I'm waiting, and I'm like, oh boy, oh boy, and I hit the fish. Like, great. It's gonna be this. This is what I'm going to be doing. And at this point, I'm getting kind of frustrated because this is not fun. This is, if this was in like Star Road or Special World or even like World 6, World 7, like I would probably say okay to that. But this is not exactly fun. It's really not. So here I wanted to see if the shell could hurt Boss Bass. It doesn't. He's unkillable. So I was thinking, okay, if he's fireproof, maybe he's not sprite proof, but no, he is. So I'm just making my way. I'm like, this was a red level, but also frustration with Boss Bass. So here I'm like, you know what? I can go under this level. Maybe that's where the secret exit is. In the back of my head, I'm like, maybe not, but if you notice, here, he eats me. He's not even, like, touching me. I realize which version of Boss Bass this is. This is a really, really old Sprite Tool Boss Bass. Rami Sprite Tool. It has such bad interaction with Mario, I realize. And then I find this thing, and I am so confused, because those are all gold orbs. I'm like, what is this? Like, I'm not even... I'm like trying to process what this is. Like, why is this here? And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to rewind. And the reason I rewound is because of my short-term memory issues, me not remembering anything I do like 5 minutes ago. I'm like, I didn't get a midway point. And then I realized I got a midway point. So I'm like, I'm just gonna die, even though I rewound through that whole thing. And I contemplated going back under there because Boss Bass is gone. you saw that. Like, I'm like, you know what? No, then I would have to swim back. I don't want to. So I see the key up here. I'm like, okay, well, obviously the secret exit is in this part of the level. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna speed through. I'm like, I am now playing Sonic the Hedge, and I am Speed. I am the Flash. Let us just get this over with. And so I'm taking less chances. More chances? More risky things. And then I get to another fish jump. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I get here, and I just go, and I'm like, you know what? Hoppy fish. Gonna just ignore him. And I realize at that moment what I have to do. I realized at that moment I have to play through this whole level again. And it's not like the level itself. It's not great. Like, if you took out these little like fish hoppy parts, like it would be so much better. But with these little fish hoppy parts, it's just not that fun, and it's kind of frustrating. And right here, you'll see why it's so frustrating. So I'm like, I need to get up there, and then I do. Oh no, it's not here. It's I think I die, and I have to go back in. Maybe it's the next part. I don't remember. But there's a part where I get really frustrated with the game. Maybe it's this part coming up. But yeah, I'm like, I looked at the yellow box, and I'm like, oh, I have 2 power-ups, I don't need it. Then I'm like, I do need it. Okay. So we go forward. Is it... Where is it? I know what happens. I'm just trying to remember where it is. Oh, it's this part right here. So I'm like, okay, I need to get up there. and I kill the fish. I'm like, okay, I can use this fish. This fish hops. This fish will get me up there. I jump on it, and I hesitate, and I'm like, shoot. I realize I can't get up there. So what do? I'm like, I have a key. I can go fairly quickly. I'm just going to swim under boss bass. And you have to be careful because you can't go too low or else you die. And you can't go up too high or else boss bass eats you. So I'm like in between doing these things. But I get the goal. I'm all happy. Not really happy. But I'm like, it's done. It's over with. I'm looking at the map. And I realize there's a ghost house down there. There's another level over there. I'm like, I'm going to do the ghost house next. And I'm just spent from all of that.